Howdy guys. Today I'm not going to show you like our full-blown meal. My main focus today is to show you first how to bake potatoes in your Instant Pot. And then second, I'm going to turn the baked potatoes into a potato salad. And so I wanted to show y'all how I like to do my baked potatoes because it's slightly different than normal baked potatoes. So I've got my potatoes that I have washed really well, scrubbed them really well, and then let them dry. And I've got my little plate here because things are about to get messy. So I've got my olive oil, and I'm gonna drizzle my olive oil over the top of my potatoes. And then I've got my steak seasoning that we always use for our baked potatoes. But now we're going to massage this olive oil all into our potatoes. And I'm using olive oil instead of butter because we're trying to be a little bit healthier here right now. And I mean, either way you could do, just slather it with butter or cover it in olive oil. And now we're gonna take our steak seasoning with our other hand and we're gonna sprinkle this all over. And this is gonna fly all over the place. And turn, make sure you get it all over all the sides. That is very crucial to get it all over a nice thick crust. Don't forget your ends. Always do the ends. All right, we're gonna take a fork and we gotta poke these bad boys. Kind of a little bit all over. Stab them around. I've discovered if you forget to stab the fork through it prior to putting it in the Instant Pot, you end up with perfectly baked exterior and a very crunchy interior. So always make sure to remember to poke it with the fork. That is a very, very important step when cooking it in the Instant Pot. Woo! Got a little slippery there, didn't it? I'm gonna have to get a new fork. Oh, the dogs come running like, ooh, they think they got a present. Nope, not for y'all. They thought I was doing something special for them. I was not. All right, let's get our clean fork. Stab, 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 stab everywhere. I like to do the baked potatoes in the Instant Pot because number one, it's a lot faster. And number two, you don't have to have your oven on for like an hour and a half going constantly because y'all know that is hot. All right, let's re-roll. Make sure everything is good and covered. All right, in our Instant Pot here, I'm gonna add a cup of water. Plain old water. And then your Instant Pot comes with the little trivet. Toss that sucker down in there on top of the water. And then we're just gonna plop this right on top of our trivet inside the Instant Pot. That's coming off right there. Let's massage that sucker back in, get that crust going on it. Yummy. Yummy. It's so messy. And this seasoning is so good on potatoes. You'll see in a little bit. All right. And that sucker goes. And this is how easy it is. Lid on, pressure cook, move that sucker up to 20 minutes. And that's it. Your potatoes are baking. Easy peasy. Now I'm gonna go clean up and then we will do our baked potato salad when I come back. Okay, we have taken out the baked potatoes. All in all, it took about 40 minutes. So it took about 10 minutes for it to come up to pressure, then it cooked for 20 minutes, and then it took about 10 minutes to naturally release its pressure. I did not do a quick release on this one. I've been letting them cool a little bit so that I can actually like cut into them and handle them without burning my fingers off. They're still gonna be a little bit warm, but that's okay at this point. We just need to get them chopped up. So let's see, and we wanna dice these into pretty small bite-sized pieces. So I'm gonna cut it into quarters first. See, nice and steamy, but completely cooked through. It's perfect. And at this point, you can also decide whether or not you want to leave the skin on. Since we seasoned the skin so well with our steak seasoning, we're leaving the skins on. Personal preference, whichever you want to do. Up to you. So I'm going to dice these up fairly small. And this will help them cool off a little more. Because potato salad is supposed to be cool. I'm gonna throw them into my bowl here. Boop. Let's go ahead and cut that part in half. And cut that part in half. Cut that part in half. And then scoop them all in. Whew. Try not to make a mess. You can try. It's not gonna necessarily be a for sure thing that you won't make a mess, but you can try. Okay, and then I'm gonna make my sauce to go on these and this baked potato salad. Let's dice up the other one. That one's a little hotter. Let's get him cut quickly. Ooh. And if you have any like imperfections on the skin that you want to take off, like I have a bit of a bruise on this one, I might take that part off a little bit. We'll decide that later. But you really want all this yummy flavor that's been baked into the skin or pressure cooked into the skin. And the skin also has a whole lot of nutrients in it. So you know, it's good for you to eat the skin. So to go with our baked potato salad tonight, I am doing steak. And I've already had that marinating for, gosh, that's probably been marinating for about an hour now. I have a big old New York strip steak that Jasmine and I are actually gonna split because it's a whole lot of steak. And with everything else we have going on tonight, we're gonna split our steak. So the inspiration for our little steak dinner came because I found these Dr. Pepper baked beans at H-E-B. And as much as I love Dr. Pepper, I was like, oh, I have to have those. So we're gonna try our Dr. Pepper baked beans and see how that turns out. I think it's gonna be yummy. Definitely think it's gonna be delicious. Yeah, like that's got a little bit of a bruise there. I'm gonna take that out. And then it's a perfect little piece of potato. Yep, it's a lot easier once you cut it open to identify the not so great spots. So like, see, that one had a bit of a bruise going on there. So we got rid of that one. Yeah, throw that piece away. The rest of those potatoes were really good. That skin is great. Okay, now we're gonna make our sauce. We're gonna do some mayonnaise. Do a couple scoops of mayonnaise in here. It's probably about half a cup. And then I have my new sour cream. Not gonna run out of that this time. Then we'll probably do about a half a cup of sour cream as well. All right, mix that together with a little bit of our house seasoning, because you want that to be good and flavored. Yummy, yummy. And then I have also chopped up some green onion. This is about the only kind of onion that we'll actually legit put in our cooking. And I've diced up some bacon. And we have some sharp cheddar cheese. The only thing that's missing from it being a loaded baked potato is the butter. But of course the mayonnaise is the substitute for that. And we coated our skin in olive oil, you know, so that works. All right, I'm gonna let this cool off a little bit more so that it's closer to room temperature and doesn't necessarily melt all the cream. Although while it is warm, I am going to melt a little bit of cheese into it. Just mix in a handful here. Yeah. All right. Set that aside for a second. Bring this forward so y'all can see. So we have our handful of cheese here. Just gonna mix it in. And if you want to, you can also like mash a few of these if you like a creamier type of potato salad instead of like the chunkier. We kind of like having chunks of potatoes in ours. So if you wanted to mash a few of these to get them a little softer, a little mushier, you are totally allowed to do that. And if you even wanted to add a few more minutes on the cooking time on the Instant Pot to get them a little softer, you could do that as well. Mixing them in general is going to start to mash them a little bit. So you can see some of them are getting a little mashed. So we're gonna let that sit and cool off, and then we will mix in the rest of our ingredients, and then we'll put our steak on. Yummy, yummy. Okay, our potatoes have cooled now, and so they're not gonna completely melt the sauce that we're about to put on them. So we're gonna take our sour cream and mayonnaise mixture here, and the trick is to do it a little bit at a time so that you don't end up adding too much, because you don't want too much sauce in there. So we're gonna take a little bit and we're gonna mix him in, and then we'll decide piece by piece how much sauce we want on here, because you want it to be good and creamy, just not all cream sauce, right? Like, have y'all ever had a potato salad that was like nothing but the dressing on it? You couldn't even taste the potatoes. Yeah, we don't want to do that here. We want to taste our potatoes, and we want to taste the other flavors of our potatoes, not just sour cream and mayonnaise. Like, that is a very important thing here. And see, like, as you can see, some of them are getting a little more mashed, so it's not going to be quite big chunks like it appeared to be at the beginning. All right, at this point, I'm going to add in our bacon bits. We're going to add in most of those and save just a little bit to decorate the top. We're going to throw in our green onions. I'm probably not going to use all of those because That was quite a few. All right, get those good and stirred in as well. Mix it, mix it, mix it. All right, a little bit more sauce. Yeah, we might end up using all of it here. We just might. Or most of it at least. Yeah, we've used most of it. There we go, get that mixed across there. Oof. Make sure that it's covering everything nicely and not clumping all in one spot. You don't want that. Arm's getting a little tired. All right. Let's add in some more cheese, right? Cheese. So this cheese, since it's at nice room temperature now, it's not going to melt. It's just gonna kind of blend in and stick, which is just as good, just as yummy as good melty cheese. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have our loaded baked potato salad done with our baked potatoes. That's how it works. Super easy, but super yummy. See? That yummy looking. So perfectly creamy. As you can see, the sauce is not too overpowering. And out of that little bit, I only have that much left. So I might go ahead and stick it in there anyway. I don't think that'll hurt anything and won't make it too much. Yummy, good stuff. Yes. All right, and I already have my beans over here that are simmering on low. I'm excited to try these Dr. Pepper baked beans. And then I have my steak that is hanging out on my cooling rack over here, getting ready to, it's draining of its marinade right now, so it's getting ready to go in our skillet. And I'm not gonna show y'all that whole process because everybody has their own preference on how steak is cooked. I cook mine in my cast iron skillet. That's my favorite way to cook them. And I'm actually gonna cook it in the grease from the bacon that I fried up earlier. So it's gonna have a little bit of extra yummy flavor to it. But we like ours very well done in this household. We don't like a whole lot of fat and things like that. So we like for that to cook as much as possible. And so it takes us a little while to get our steak cooked. It's not just like a few minutes on each side to get that little char going on. So I'm not gonna show y'all that whole process, but I will put a picture at the end of the video of our finished product. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.